We welcome you back to First Energy Stadium here on the lakefront in Cleveland. We're just getting started in the first quarter. Here's Watson now on second down. Wide open receiver complete. He had 6 catches in the wild card win, and that's his first one here in the divisional round, and it's a first down. So again from the 39, this time from the other side of the field. Here's 1st and 10. This is Jackson, and he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain on the play there, second down. Well, usually you don't think of the cornerback coming in for a no-gain play, but that's what we had there. Nice tackle.
Yeah, and how about the range, too? Coming from the outside part of the play, moving his way into the inside and making that play happen. No gain for the offense, big play for the defense.
Watson, it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he gets it down to the 32. The reception good for 7. It's third down. I don't think it's a surprise they're throwing the football early. We expected that. They told us they were going to come out firing, but 4 for 4 on the opening drive. They like that.
They don't just like it. They love it because now everyone gets locked in. The confidence jumps up. Everyone's easy about what they're doing out there. And by the way, they're looking at the sidelines thinking to themselves and expressing, just keep throwing it. We're doing pretty well.
They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Big completion there on third and short, keeps their opening drive alive.
Not only alive, but plenty of possibilities now. 1st and goal, and you know me, I'm a big advocate. If you're going to throw the ball, throw it early in the down and distance count.
And perhaps now close to the first points of this divisional round game as it's 1st and goal. They'll run it with Jackson. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. A good run of 6 yards there. Gets him closer to the goal line with second down coming up.
Well, it's been the air game that's taken them down on this drive before they finally turned around and handed it off on the last play.
And now they're looking for the big boys to get him in the end zone. Couldn't do it there.
It'll be interesting to see. Offensive lines had to pass block a lot on this drive. Will they be able to revert and fire out and create some space in the run game?
And he pushes forward but comes up short of the goal line as he'll get a yard down to about the 1. Driven it down the field nicely here on the opening drive, but now it's put up or shut up.
No doubt about it, because to make that type of a drive and ultimately kick a field goal would feel very disappointing. But I'm just wondering, is the head coach thinking, is this 4-down territory? Might he go for it?
Looking to cash in on this opening drive. Here's 3rd and goal. Here's Watson. And it's caught. Touchdown. In for the score. And this offense takes the ball down the field and scores on their opening drive. Forget about the storylines of being intimidated in the playoffs on the road. I mean, that was pretty clinical right there.
Yeah, they didn't treat it like it was a playoff game in January, did they?
No.
That felt much more like, hey, we're back in August, running a few drills in the practice field. They seem unaffected by what they're facing in this one.
Extra point right down the middle, and it's now a 7-0 game. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or 2 shy of the 30. The Browns offense trotting back onto the field. Throwing on 1st down. Murray. Oh, he's going to take a shot right away. And that is going to be pulled in one-handed. Wow. A big play that time for Cleveland. 48 yards.
tell the truth, partner. You didn't think he was coming down with that one, did you? Come on, tell me the truth.
No, I didn't. I'll tell you what, though. A one-handed grab of that length. Talk about giving your team a little juice.
Oh, big time. I mean, everyone's going to be excited about that one, whether you're on the field or not. It permeates its way through the entire team, and I can't wait to see what they do on the next down. They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. 5 yards on the pickup, and just like that, it's third down. Here's Murray. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he will have the first down inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal. So they gave up the early touchdown. This has been a pretty good response. Nice drive, taking it down first and goal.
And I know all the cliches jump in, right? Don't get away from your game plan too early. Make sure you're settled down. Don't panic. But it's all true, isn't it? Because otherwise, you get out of what you plan to do during the game, and it's still early. Don't get crazy because you gave one up. Just respond as you just noted.
He's going to get it running right. That's going to be a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
So the myth has been shattered. Every cornerback in the league is not just a cover corner. Some of them will stick their nose in there and make plays exactly as we just saw there. A big loss suffered by the offense after that nice tackle.
He's going to get it running right. And they go the wrong way on this one. Losing yardage back at the 12. Calling a loss of 2 on the play. And that'll make it third and goal.
The short field shrinks even more with the type of bodies they brought in on that play. Those extra tight ends, they weren't able to secure their blocks, and that one ended up going backwards.
They've been stuffed twice here for losses. Now it's third and goal. Murray now. Hard throw, incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
So, yes, it's only 3, but at least they're able to answer back after giving up the touchdown to start the game.
Yeah, I like the observation there because getting some points on the board, very positive for them. Feel a little bit better about things because if you don't score, you potentially have opened the door for them to score again, and then you're down 14.
And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now this offense ready to head back out there. They had the touchdown on the opening drive of the ball game. It was countered by just a field goal. So, hey, if your guys can do that for 4 quarters, you're in good shape.
Yeah, it is a team game, so that's just good complimentary football. But, you know, I know I'm no brainiac. But you trade 6s for 3s, things are going to work out in your favor.
On the ground, this is Jackson. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's second and 12.
Back 22.
On second down, here's Watson. And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Now Watson, and that is incomplete. That's going to be an intriguing matchup to continue to watch. You don't get in the playoffs without having a good guy to cover out wide. If they want to move on, get in the championship, then the Super Bowl, he's going to have to be big in this one.
And this is not basketball where you're worried about your star getting fouls and getting in trouble and maybe not playing as much. You take your number 1 guy, put it on their number 1 guy, and try and limit their offense.
We have played a quarter here in this AFC Divisional Playoff. 7-3 the score. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports.
The NFL on EA Sports is presented by Snickers. You're not you.
Back with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. The Browns with a football to begin quarter number 2 as they take over following the punt with a 1st and 10. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
Here we go. 3-19. 3-19.
On 1st and 10, Murray. He's going to air one out. And that's caught inside the 30. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. They give him a gain of 37.
That was an excellent read right there. Saw cover 1. That means it's just a single high safety. So you know if you throw the ball to the outside part of the field, help is going to be a little bit late getting there. And he puts one out there for a big-time completion.
On 1st down, Murray firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play. And that'll make it 2nd and 12. Looking to throw. Murray. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. So he got free of 1 tackle, but couldn't do a whole lot else. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
On 3rd down, Murray. And he fires one, but incomplete.
Boy, you will not see a quarterback of his caliber miss on one like that very often. I mean, there it is, wide open, got the shot, and he misfires.
We talk about, boy, he'll want that one back all the time. He definitely wants that one back. No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
So we're back to a 1-point game now as the kickoff comes. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now back out comes the offense. They've got the lead. Last time had to punt it, though. What's the key to this drive?
I think it's leverage.
Leverage.
Big guys up front. You know the motivational speech on the sideline is, guys, give us an opportunity. Protect the passer, create space for our runners, and let's go ahead and get these guys. Low man wins. Let's go do it on this drive.
We'll watch that leverage on this drive. On 1st and 10, Watson. And that is incomplete here.
The effort's always going to be there. Everyone's always going to try and make a catch, but underthrown balls, I think, are the toughest ones to come back and get because usually your momentum's going in the opposite direction when you're trying to stop, break, and come back and get it.
Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10. There's Jackson. And he'll get this one up to the 26. 1 yard, the official pickup there, so it's going to set up 3rd and 9.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half, maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
This is caught by Jackson. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks.
There are a lot of tough routes to try and cover. When you see a runner come out of the backfield and run this angle route, looks like they're going to the flat, and then they put their foot in the ground and cut back sharply inside. Not easily covered, and then when they catch it, good momentum built up by them as well.
And able to pick up the first. Watson now hitting on 80% of his passes in the early going. 8 of 10. It's first down. And they'll go ground game here to the tailback. He'll get about 3 as he's brought down right around the 42.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They'll pick up another first down with that run.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he's going to take this across the 50 into Browns territory. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. He'll get this to the 40. Sweet little juke in there. Got him some extra yardage. It's a gain of 5, and that'll make it 3rd down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man.
This winds up an empty possession. Everything looked okay. He just never got the ball on target. And knowing him, he'll be disappointed with that effort.
Two sides to every coin. This is the bad side of missing the 58-yarder. Now they start at the 48.
Here we go now. Blue 90.
Now they try the right side here. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. 5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
Partner, I think from our experience together, we have learned that most offensive coordinators are going to tell you, if I'm going to run the football on 1st down, I've got to get at least 4 yards. They got 5 here. They've got to feel pretty good about that one.
Here we go.
And they'll run it here. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete. The Browns send out their punter now, as he should be able to pin him back deep here with his first punt. And he'll get this away into the icy winter air. And this is going to hit the goal line and continue on into the end zone for a touchback. Now this offensive unit ready to see what they can do here. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Closer.
Yeah, well, you know, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him. Well, they obviously red man covers their partner, and he got downfield, broke down the defender.
What do you mean by that, Booker?
Yeah, he made him think he was going to run a different route. Probably thought he was going to take it upfield. Then he curls back inside for the completion.
That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
And they'll go with a ground attack here. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 2 minutes to play here in the first half. Back with more AFC playoff action after this timeout. We remind you, as we've done all year, that coming up at halftime, we will visit with Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll let you know what's going on here on a very eventful divisional round weekend. So a 1st and 10 upcoming from Browns territory now at the 47. Out of the gun, Watson. He's got his man on the crossing route. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. That one goes for 24 yards.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. Watson now to throw. Throwing right, and that's complete. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork.
Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. And now a timeout called defensively by the Browns, as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. The 6-yard line, the line of scrimmage on 2nd and goal. To the air yet again. Watson shakes off the sack. And that's incomplete.
They certainly thought they had him surrounded and probably thought they were going to get him on the ground and get the sack, but he was able to elude that. And even though it threw it incomplete downfield, if you're a defensive back, you're loving the pressure that you're seeing from your front.
Now Watson on 3rd and goal. And this is caught. For the moment, it's a touchdown, but multiple flags down, so let's sort this out. So reverse the celebration. We'll see if they have something else in their bag of tricks.
And isn't that always tough to watch when they score and you see the excitement, and then when they realize those points aren't going to count? Can they get it back together and find their way back to the end zone?
And his kick is right there. It's good. And they bump the lead up to 4 now at 10-6. So he gets a shot at atoning for the earlier miss here in the first half and able to knock it through.
And what a relief for him, don't you think? Because how many games have we done where kickers missed one early and never gotten a chance to atone for it the rest of the game? That's a lot to carry around.
And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or two shy of the 30. And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure, if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete.
Nice play there to force the incompletion. And to me, one thing's for sure. When you're the underdogs and you're playing on the road, you absolutely have to get takeaways. You've got to get the ball from them.
Yeah, win that turnover battle, going to be key. They didn't get one there, but you get the feeling they keep making plays like that, they might just get a few.
Yeah, once you get one, defensive teams think they come in bunches.
And he gets all the way down to the 30-yard line. A big play there just before halftime. 42 yards. They go play action here on 1st down. That's going to be caught. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Browns touchdown. As his guys are in for 6. And the Browns are able to cash in for 6.
And while that touchdown does not give them an insurmountable lead, it's still a lead, and that always feels good to a team.
They'd love to take that into the lockers, but a little time left on that clock, so some work to do.
I like that. I like how you're guarding against a letdown there.
Are you looking forward?
Coaching them up from right up here in the booth.
Now for the point after. Extra point splits the uprights, and that gives them a 3-point lead. Scoring summary, 3-play drive, and it ends with a touchdown for Cleveland. is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25. Now Deshaun Watson and his offense heading back out there. Been a decent start for him here in this first half, but they're losing. And I think as the captain of the offense, you probably always feel like you need to do more in that situation.
The best have always felt that way, and they won't settle for anything less. So right now his goal is to increase what he's doing on the field, try to make sure his teammates come along with him, and he feels like if I do better, everyone will do better. And that's what we're seeing from him right now. Got to have a little extra determination.
Yeah, a little extra determination. He has thrown the touchdown pass, no interceptions for him personally to this point. Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5.
Back 22. Back 22.
To throw on 2nd is Watson. Oh, nearly picked. And maybe lucky there. This guy doesn't drop many defensively. 3rd down.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the 2nd quarter, a lot of time to change things. Call that a loss of 5 yards on the play. And it'll be 3rd and 10 now.
Richmond.
And on the ground they go with the running back. No gain on the play there. A nice job defensively. And it likely forces a punt situation on 4th. And on now is the punter as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. Returning here is Wright. And that'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And there'll be time for maybe one final play before halftime. Likely time for one final snap as they start out 1st and 10.
Gun. Set. Green 39. Green 39.
A final shot before break. Murray. He's going to loft one. Deep left side. It's caught inside the 25. And he's in for the touchdown on the final play of the first half. The prayer is answered.
How did they get that done?
And they extend their lead, a little added cushion into the lockers. What a way to finish.
Tremendous way. That's momentum that they carry in with them. Can they convert it and bring it back out to start the 3rd quarter?
The call is to go for 1 and kick the extra point. Point after, right down the middle. So it's on to halftime in this AFC Divisional Round matchup. As we'll send you down to Orlando, we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. We'll get back to you and Charles in a minute. But first, time to give the folks at home a look at what's going on around the NFL. But first, let's take a look ahead to tomorrow's other Divisional Round games in the AFC. And it looks like a good one, as it's going to be one heck of a battle, that's for sure. Meanwhile, in our game, we've got one half remaining to find out who goes on to the AFC title game. And to bring it all to you, let's send it back out to Brandon Godden.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. Here's the Browns offense now getting set to start off this 3rd quarter. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on Here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. A gain of 32 that time.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. Throwing on 1st down. Murray fighting through pressure, but he can't get away forever, and down he goes.
Like the footwork back there, I thought he did a pretty good job of evading that first wave of players. Tried to buy a little extra time out of the pocket, but in the end, oh, that was a tough one.
Yeah, winds up getting buried for the loss. Back to throw. Murray. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. Throwing on 3rd and long. Murray. And he's got his man out of the backfield. That's complete. A good pickup there of 20 yards. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. He can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
A rare misstep on that last play because the drive has been strong, but now it's 2nd and 12. Looking to throw on 2nd down. Murray. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
This defense could use some more of these types of plays. How about him reading it, driving on the football, and he's right there for the pass breakup.
The Browns on 3rd down, 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd down and 12. Operating from the gun, Murray. Oh, incomplete. Nearly the pick they needed. They would have loved one there, but at least it does get them to 4th down. He's lucky to be getting that one back.
After what they've done with him all day long with all the targets trying to go after him, he's obviously gotten smart, and his pride has kicked in. Made a terrific play.
So 3 field goals that he's hit now. This last one helps him stretch out the lead.
He's been solid, hasn't he? And he lives up to the adage that every offensive coach has ever said to us. We want to end every possession with a kick, right? For them, it's either extra point, field goal, or at worst, a punt. In this case, it's been 3s.
Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things work well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there, freezing the defense just enough to swing the tight end free downfield for the completion.
And they'll go on the ground. Looking to find a lane, but he can't. Reined in at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down.
But he was stopped on that play. He's had plenty of carries all afternoon. Every now and then the defense is going to win one, but I don't think they'll shy away from handing it to him the rest of the game.
They run again with Jackson. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a third down.
But these guys are going to chop into that deficit. They got to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
Throwing on third down, Watson. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And a good stiff arm there before he's brought down on a nice little gain. They do get 9, but it leads to fourth down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? I mean, they score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do...
It got his man complete! And he gets all the way down to the 30-yard line. It's a big play there for the Browns. 66 yards. Well, it's one thing to grab it with one hand, but when you make a catch of that distance, quite another.
Yes, sir. I mean, that one right there, we keep talking about the high-flying antics that we're seeing from receivers nowadays. Doesn't matter what spot they start in. But when it actually does happen in the heat of battle, it brings me right out of my seat.
So how about this for a change of position? From inside the 10, here's first down on the other side of the field. And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. To throw on second down. Murray out to the flat. That's complete to his running back. The Browns passing game finding its stride. They've got another first down. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
Looking to throw. Murray firing quickly here, and that's complete. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of until they stop him, why not go back to it? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. 4 yards on the play, and that leads to the first and goal.
Third quarter, and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Now a play fake here on first down. And they're going to get him. They bring him down to the sack back at the 16-yard line.
Well, there's still time to rectify this situation because the silver lining, they took a sack on first and goal. But that close to the goal line, that still definitely hurts.
Looking to throw on second down. Murray. And that is caught. But the back judge right there to say incomplete.
Now we got third and goal coming up, and couldn't you imagine being in that huddle, partner? You know they're looking at each other saying, we can't come away with just 3 points after this drive.
Yeah, they've covered a lot of ground. They want more than that 3.
Set! Green, 39!
Throwing on third and long. Murray. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Cleveland. In for the score. And the Browns add 6 to their lead. And right now, Charles, I think you'd have to say their class starting to show through.
Yeah, they were disappointed not to get the #1 seed in the playoffs, but the reality is these guys can play anywhere. It doesn't matter for them.
And if they can indeed hold on to this lead, that's going to set up one heck of a championship game next Sunday.
Let's come back and watch it, shall we?
Something tells me you and I are going to be there. Now the Browns offense will stay on the field as they'll go for 2 here. Back to throw. Murray. And it's incomplete. But a flag is down here, so hang on. Let's see what we've got. This home crowd, they're happy with that call.
I like the way you said happy there, right? The so-called good guys didn't get a call. They feel like it's been that way all afternoon. You feeling their pain?
They finally got one.
Yes, they did.
And this is going to be caught. It's good. And that extends their lead by 2 more. And the formula there on the 2-point try, they go 5 wide. Not even the option to hand the ball off. They got it.
They tried to create space, and there isn't a whole lot of it there. For the defense, what you're trying to do is make sure that if they're going to catch the ball, make them catch it behind you because they run out of space with the back line. But in this case, the offense figured it out.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. So out now comes the offense back onto the field. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here. And if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs.
And this is why trying to cover the angle route is so difficult. Anyone playing the linebacker position, when they see a running back out of the backfield widen because he heads towards the flat first, oftentimes you widen too much and overcommit. He cuts up inside, and that's what we saw there. A nice pickup for a first down.
Now a first down throw, Watson. Powers ahead at the 45. Going right side here, and that's complete. 1 quarter remains for the right to advance to the AFC title game. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. And we're back now here in Cleveland. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4. So a 1st and 10 upcoming from Browns territory now at the 45-yard line.
Back 22! Back 22!
A shotgun snap for Watson. Sideline throw, it's complete. And a nice job there of keeping the toes in bounds. A gain of 6 there on first. He's been a busy man here in this one, and they're showing off some nice footwork to stay in bounds.
And with those types of catches and the volume that we've seen in this game, wouldn't you keep him busy as well?
I would.
Of course. You got to keep throwing it to him. He keeps making plays.
6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Again, it's Watson. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Ramsey. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. They give him 17 yards that time as that'll move the chains. On first down, it's Watson. Open space inside the 10. That is caught right at the 10-yard line. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down. Defensively here, you've got the cushion, but back-to-back pretty big pass plays there. Bend but don't break, but are they bending too much?
I think that they are. To me, it'd be like playing basketball, and you put up a token press. Make sure you get up there and
And he'll take it into the end zone for a touchdown. A great effort there. An 8-yard touchdown run. And his guys are able to close that gap just a bit. He has been an integral part of the offense all season, and now in the playoffs he's carrying it over. Had the touchdown last week in the wild card game. Now his second TD of the playoffs.
Showing some consistency, and that's something that we have to keep in mind about the playoffs, because we often think you have to be spectacular in order to win. I think consistent is what you're looking for. That can get you to the finish line.
This fielded at the 2. Twisting away. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that, they had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were competent enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
Let's go.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
He's going to loft it deep right sideline. And it's knocked away and incomplete. First quarter, Charles, you really emphasized the importance of winning the turnover battle as a visiting team, as an underdog. They haven't forced a single turnover in this game.
And right now they're losing, so no turnovers might lead to no victory.
Let's go.
Now a handoff looking right, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. He'll wind up losing 3, and now it's third down.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the fourth quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there, and now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow.
And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. Picked off at the 40, and he brings it back to right around the 26-yard line. Their passing game has been spectacular this afternoon. Finally, a win for the defense.
You think maybe there was an adjustment there. Finally gained a measure of, I don't even know if you call it revenge, but got a play done against him, and that's been difficult for them all game long.
And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he's able to get it to the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. A gain of 6 there on first. At this stage, this drive's got to be touchdown or bust because you need 2 of them.
And if I'm the offensive play caller, I'm not just looking at my dagger plays downfield. I'm looking at some of my specials, something that can fool them and give you a big play now.
With a sense of urgency.
No doubt.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. I guess they're in a situation now, fourth quarter, where they're forced to take some chances, but I don't know that that was the type of a chance you want to take.
And that one could very easily have been intercepted. And if it does get picked off, that could possibly seal this one.
And he couldn't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral, also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
Back to throw, Watson, and it's caught. Touchdown. As his guys are in for 6, and his guys are able to make this a close game again.
I know Paul Revere talked about by land or by sea, right? You know, 1 by land, 2 by sea. He didn't mention air because right now we're seeing a big-time performance, aren't we? That's 2 touchdowns so far in this game.
Where'd you pull that one from?
And, you know, every now and then I actually listened in history class.
And you're just a scholar all the way around. You're reading all the time. I like that you fit that in.
You know, I just grab a nugget when I can.
Now this offense about ready to take over again. And several days ago, you and I talked with a couple of guys in the meetings about how big is home field advantage. And they kind of downplayed it a bit, but I think we're seeing here today, building up this lead, looks like they're going to win. Why home field advantage in the divisional round so important?
Yeah, they may have downplayed it, but we could also sense that it was important to them because nothing has to change. You don't have to uproot anything. Sometimes when you're going on the road, you may have to even leave earlier in order to get acclimated if it's going to be a tough environment against the team you're going to play. So being at home is a big deal, but now they know, at least they feel like it, they're moving on to the championship round. There's got to be no better feeling. They'll get that 24-hour rule in. Enjoy that before they look forward to the next opponent.
Here we go now.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. A gain of 4 that time as the drive continues. Now, I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely. You want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's McGee. A big play that time for Cleveland. 42 yards. So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
All right, here we go.
They'll try a little trickery here on the end around. And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 13.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
All right, here we go.
They'll go option on 2nd down, right side. And maybe the wrong read there as he's going to go down immediately. That'll go as a loss of 5. And they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long.
I don't think there's any doubt that if it's me, I'd be really cautious about continuing to call this play because you got to know. Defenders, if they get a free shot at the QB, they want to take it, and they want to take it big.
And they're going to get him. He's sacked back around the 28.
I remember when I was a kid and all I wanted was a nickel so I could get that soda down at the fountain. And guess what? The nickel came into play well. 5 defensive backs, they covered well, allowed for the sacks.
Sodas were a nickel when you were a kid?
No, I just needed the extra nickel so I could pay the proper price.
Okay, how much were they? A dime? What were they?
15 cents.
And this one is right through. And that will push the lead up to double digits now at 10. A big one there. That gives him a little cushion and makes it a 2-score game.
Yeah, bled a little time off the clock, put some points on the board. It's not totally out of reach yet, but it has to feel pretty good to them right now because as a defender, you go out on the field and say, guess what? You can put some points on the board, but that won't beat us.
This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now trotting back out with the rest of his offensive mates, the big tight end. And look at the numbers. They have gotten him more involved. I guess the question now, Charles, defensively, how do you make him less involved?
That's always a key question, isn't it? Sometimes other guys are starting to play really well, and you shift your attention to them. You got to make sure you got full focus on him because he's so good that if you don't, he finds a way to make plays. Always have 2 guys in his vicinity. Usually trying to bump him off the line of scrimmage and get him out.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great start.
Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll use his blockers to get this up over the 20 to the 21. He gets him moving forward again with an 8-yard run, but they'll still be left with 14 yards to go on 3rd. This offense so far on 3rd down, 5 out of 9 thus far. This is 3rd and 14. Time for a break. We'll come back and see this one out after this. So it's our visitors with a football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Third and long. It's Watson. He's going to let it fly. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, fourth quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on fourth down. They're going for it.
Hey, green the line! Green the line!
As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. And that is incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And the Browns are going to get this thing back. Excellent field position. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. And there are the numbers. Got off to that torrid hot start. We thought he was in for maybe a career day. Not the case.
No doubt about it. It almost looks like a misprint after what we saw in the first half. But let's give a little bit of credit to the guys on our side of the ball. They went in at halftime, made a few adjustments. And you know what else? They didn't lose their confidence in their ability to play. Because a lot of times you get beat down in the first half. It gets ugly in the second half. They've come out with a new resolve and a renewed determination.
And no running here. And he'll at least get him inside the red zone here, down to about the 19. Now defensively here, we're going to get a timeout, as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. This, in all probability, another run here on 2nd and 8.
Here we go. Green 39. Green 39. Leopard. Leopard.
And they'll go with a ground attack here. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. And now whistles blow here. Play has stopped, and we're going to get a timeout, as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important third down. They'll try and pick it up by running the option to the right. And he goes backwards here, losing yardage back to the 16. So a defensive timeout, chance to regather, regroup, and get set as we resume action. And his kick is good. And that will stretch the lead up to 13. So yet another field goal to end a drive. That has been a very common theme. He's now hit 5 of them in this game.
Yeah, Brandon, as an offense, you hate that you've had to call on your kicker so often, but you have to love the fact that time and time again, he's come through.
This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And here now the offense heading back out there. And on that last drive, went for it on 4th, turned it over. A good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on 4th down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here, because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3, and that's exactly what happened.
You think that factored in?
I do. I think that he had that in his mind going into the game, that I'm going to be aggressive on offense because I know I've got a defense that can hold up their end.
From the gun, here's Watson. And he will find his man on the outside. And he'll go down just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. 4 yards on the pickup, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11. Here's Watson. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. And this is going to be incomplete. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is it allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
Desperation time. Watson on 4th down. And no! It's incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and as a result, their playoff run may end right here. So with that, we can just about close the book on this one, Charles.
Yeah, what's the old expression about slim and none? Well, Slim just left town on that
They're
one.
down to none?
Yes, exactly right.
The Browns offense heading back out to take possession. And after the field goal last time, let's see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that, that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down. Charles, why didn't they just take the knee there?
You're asking the question that I'm asking as well, because we've seen a lot of football where coaches decide maybe they get a little greedy. I don't know if they're doing it for stats or for what reason. We've seen it happen in college. And how about in the NFL? The miracle of the Meadowlands. All they had to do was take a knee and the game was over. The Giants ran it one more time. Ball popped free. Philadelphia picks it up and wins the game.
What year was that?
1978. I think it was in November.
They said at the beginning of the year, hey, our goal is to play in the conference title game. They just achieved that.
How about that? So that gives you not just determination, right? Not just a standard to go up against, but how about the confidence as they were building towards that? Because you had to win a lot of games in order to get in this position, and now they're there, and they'll play in a game. They'll determine whether or not they go to the Super Bowl.
That'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our hardworking crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, find us on Twitter at EA Madden NFL. It's a win for the Browns, and they're happy in the dog pound as we say so long from Cleveland.